What's the most popular Vietnamese dish around the world? It's gotta be pho. But I actually hardly ever eat pho in Vietnam. I've never made a video about it. I've never even talked about it on this channel. So I'll explain why that is. But today we're finally eating pho and I'm super excited. I'm really hungry. We're at a spot called Pho Ba Mai. I think we found a good one. So today we ordered two different types of pho. So Luan, what do we have?
For you is a beef rib, which is sườn bò, phở sườn bò. And I have the regular one, is the lean part. What is that?
Brisket.
Brisket. Yeah. So it's that the regular one. Phở nap.
Everybody knows the general idea about pho. It's thin rice noodles and then usually beef. Sometimes you'll get chicken, but there's actually a handful of different types of pho. So most local joints, they're gonna have pho thai.
Phở tái means like medium rare beef. Phở nap, like I eat, is brisket, like the lean part. So if you don't like the fat.
And pho chin.
And phở chín is so like they cook it like 100% cook it.
Yeah, so the biggest thing you have to decide about is pho chin is the meat's really well cooked and then put in your bowl. Pho thai is the other most common bowl of pho, but the meat is really rare and then they put it into the boiling water of the soup and it kind of cooks, so it's just more rare meat. So when we're starting out, add a little bit of lime.
I love limes in the broth.
Yeah, why not? Add whatever you want. I like to add a little bit of basil in. So I lived in Hanoi for a long time, and I gotta be honest, pho in Hanoi is very plain.
To you.
And very boring in my opinion. So that's one of the reasons why I never ate it. All right, first bite. Broth is really nice, really salty, very peppery, just a lot of flavor. You got a lot of sliced spring onions in there. So always with pho, you're gonna eat it with these little breadsticks. These are called quay. And sometimes they give them to you right on the table like they did here. But sometimes you have to call them extra, just in case they don't bring them with you originally.
I love quay.
Look kind of like a dog bone.
Uh-huh.
So I'm actually not quite sure how pho became the poster Vietnamese dish for Vietnam that everybody knows around the world. Because in Vietnam, pho is definitely popular, but I wouldn't even say it's in the top 5 dishes.
Like everybody will eat pho for breakfast, for lunch, for any kind of meal in a day. And I think it's more popular before. And before we don't have meat a lot. So that's why people really love eating pho. It's just like a treat to you. But nowadays they eat more and more. And it just became a very typical breakfast.
I just barely even see it around. But I guess pho is pretty much breakfast only, right?
Mm-hmm.
From 6, 7 a.m. to 9 or 10 or something like that, right? So I'm not really a breakfast person, so maybe I never see it around because I'm never out for breakfast. But this place, for example, it's 10:15 right now. There's not a person in here. This place is open from 8 to 12 every day, and we came a couple days ago at about 11, and they said they were sold out of everything. And we've driven by here in the mornings before, around 8 o'clock, and it's packed, completely full. So I think everybody eats pho early in the morning. So anyone traveling to Vietnam soon, or even if you're just curious about Vietnam, I started a travel group, talk about all of our recommendations, talk about food, different places to visit in Vietnam. It's really cool. I'll put the link in the description so you can join for free. Come hang out in there. I've got some guides, everything you need to know about Vietnamese food, and I think it should be pretty helpful.
We also order the tiết tủy. I don't know what.
Bone marrow.
Yeah, bone marrow. So they scoop it out for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try.
Ooh.
Ooh. Rich.
Super salty, super thick, like gelatin almost, but that makes it sound not great, but it's good. I like bone marrow. Bone marrow is really good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try these ribs. The beef ribs, big old chunks of meat on here. You might wonder why we call it pho and not pho. So in Vietnamese language, there's 3 different types of letter O, and the O with a hook on it makes an sound, and then when you add the little squiggly on top, that's called a zo hai, and that makes like an up and falling tone, so you end up with pho. So that's the correct way to say it.
Don't say pho, don't say pho, don't say pho, or whatever it is. It's pho.
That's the
Vietnamese lesson.
tricky thing about Vietnamese. If you say pho, that's still wrong. It's got to be pho.
Yeah.
The tones are important. So honestly, I've eaten pho maybe 10 times since living in Vietnam for 5 years, and I've got nothing against it. Like, it's really good. There's nothing to complain about. It's just not even on my top 5 dishes, not even top 10 dishes. So I'm never super craving it. There's just always something else that I'd rather eat. So I just never end up having it.
Well, I think because like you love food that have a lot of flavor and lots of spices, like compare between pho and bún bò, you would pick bún bò right away. Because bún bò is spicy and have a lot of like flavor and strong flavor, but pho is like really gentle and guys, what is that word in English? Tinh tế, so it's like very gentle and very soft.
Subtle, maybe?
I don't know, but yeah, it is.
Yeah, pho is really filling, so that's why Vietnamese love it as a breakfast dish. They love a super carb-heavy meal that's gonna fill you up. Make sure you're good to go from 6 a.m. to lunchtime. 12 or 1 o'clock might be the next time you eat. And that's another thing. As a Western person, we never would eat a really carb-heavy breakfast. So like a giant bowl of noodles isn't something that we're used to eating for breakfast. And since pho is mostly only available for breakfast time, that's another reason why I wouldn't eat it that much. Pho is one of those dishes, I guess there's a lot of Vietnamese dishes like this, that are really different, drastically different between certain parts of the country. So if you are coming and you're gonna see the whole country, definitely try a bowl of pho in Saigon and one in Hanoi and notice how different they are. Basically like 2 different dishes. Just everything about the broth, all the extra things that you would put inside the soup, the whole flavor of everything, very different. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this place is up there with the best pho I've ever had. I say that a lot, and you always make fun of me. I always say, this is the best I've ever had.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had some very mediocre bowls of pho in Hanoi. So this one's solid. This is like, I'd say a 7 out of 10.
You're crazy.
You don't think so?
Yeah, you're a crazy person. This is a good one.
7 out of 10 is not even super high.
No, I'm saying that it should be higher. Because like this, I would say not restaurant, but like this store is pretty wide open, not too hot. Because normally pho in Hanoi is gonna be in a small little store and you have to get inside and they cook in front of you, it's super hot. And you eat with the pho, it's even hotter. But here it's like wide open, have the area and looks very clean and tidy.
Yeah, I agree. And when we came the other day and they were sold out, like way before their closing time, that's always a good sign. You know it's really busy in the mornings. All right, so prices. This place is a little bit more expensive than your run-of-the-mill super local place. So mine is the specialty, the big bowl with the big beef bone. This one is 80, which is about just over $3. And you got a small, which is 40. So less than $2, about $1.50.
Yeah.
And the small is,
Does it look small?
it's a pretty big bowl of pho. It's the small. So you can see the bowls,
Yeah.
like the big one is massive and the small one is normal size bowl. So this place is very clean, has very like good quality, good ingredients. So the prices are a little bit more than like Auntie's little stall on the sidewalk and still only just slightly more than the cheapest local price.
But it's worth it.
I agree. All right, we're gonna slowly finish up. We're both stuffed here. So thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one. Peace.